life is complex. So here's a typical street scene. This is in Hong Kong, but actually I can take this kind of a picture in probably every major city of the world. It just is thriving, and it builds up the way it builds up, and there's no structure and there's no organization, but we learn to live with it and we learn to enjoy it. In fact, lots of people complain about the neat, orderly buildings that architects and city planners like to impose upon us. So those are complex things that are understandable or workable or enjoyable. And here's the remote control. These are mine. Until I replace it with what I think is good design. So now let's talk about how one overcomes complicated stuff and makes it into understandable stuff. So here's how you solve the remote control problem. You don't do it by having a universal remote of the normal sort. Because I have a remote for the DVD player, and a remote for the TV receiver, a remote for the audio receiver, and a remote for the game machine, the remote for whatever. All those different things have different remotes, and the way people normally do universal remotes is they make this one remote, I can flip a switch and it's now this one, or flip another switch and it's that one, or flip another switch and it's that one, but it's not activity-centered. And so really good design is based on the activity you're trying to do and gives you just the tools you need for the activity. And this is the Harmony made by, I always forget, Logitech's Harmony remote control, which I think does a brilliant job. This is actually also my TV set in remote. And it says, what activity do you want to do? You want to watch TV? Do you want to watch a movie? Do you want to listen to music? Do you want to listen to a CD? Do you want to play with the Wii? And you select it, and then when you've made your selection, like view a movie, you are given only the controls that you need in an understandable fashion. And a few of them are hard buttons on the right, because remember, this is made to be used in the dark, and you're trying to watch a movie, so you don't really want to watching the screen while watching the movie. So it's nice that I can control the volume or the channel if I'm watching television, and I can turn the mute on and off, or I can go fast forward and stop the thing just by feeling the buttons on my right. But what they've done is they've modularized, compartmentalized, so that although the total thing is complicated, they've made it understandable by dividing it into small, meaningful units that fit the activity I'm doing. Another solution is systems thinking. So why is the iPod so successful? I really do not believe it's successful because it's such a beautiful device. If you look at the competition, there are other devices that are maybe not quite as attractive, but almost as attractive, certainly have more functions, more memory, less expensive. But they are sold as isolated devices. And so the real difficulty then is how do you get the stuff into it? How do you change what's in it? How do you keep it up to date? Whereas Apple realized that this was a system. The first thing that Apple did was make it legal. Before the iPod, it was not legal to transfer music to your own personal player. People were doing it, but they were technology people. The everyday person couldn't do it, and it was, in any event, it was not legal. So Apple was the first company to do the licensing deal. Second, where do you find the music? So Apple developed a website that made it very easy to find the music. And they made it very easy, once you found the music, to click on the thing you wanted and to have it paid for and download it to your machine. It was effortless. You didn't have to do anything special. You just said, I want that, and your money was automatically taken away from you, and it was put in, and the song was put in your machine. And then they made it very easy to plug the iPod into the computer, and all the music was on the iPod. Or when the music was in the computer, they made it very easy for you to see what was there and to select what you wanted to listen to and play or move to the iPod. So they thought of it as a system. And that's the power of the iPod. It's not the isolated one. And so many of the things that we do in life, the individual components are simple, but integrating them is very difficult. And it's integration, proper integration, that transforms complicated into complex and understandable.